Well, I am on my way to the sale. On my way to, as I said all for the past 3 weeks, the biggest day of the calendar year, potentially, outside of racing. But all things considered, definitely one of the biggest days of the year for the stable.ca is the select sale. This year it's in Circleville. So I got a hotel in Circleville. I'm on my way there now. I'll be there in an hour and 28 minutes. From Upper Sandusky. Now we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the sale tomorrow a little bit. Most importantly, last night now, a few people emailed me trying to get an understanding of what the forums were for. So there was like 2 horses last week. I'd asked people, and you guys are so great, I'd ask people, if you could just send me percentages or dollar amounts that you think you'd be interested in putting into or getting involved in the sale. It would just really help me. And not shockingly, I always say that we have the best clients, but I was overwhelmed with emails and text messages and phone calls. You guys understood what I was trying to say. You guys understood what was at stake and responded aggressively as you often do. And I was inundated with emails and people saying, I want this, I'd like this. And it became clear to me that people are going to fall through the cracks. Driving down the road and somebody sends me a text message, I want 8% of hip number 27. Okay. Okay, good. I may have forgotten that, right? Or I make a mental note, hey, go back, make sure you do this. What if 5 people sent me that same message? If I was terrified, my biggest fear, and every year it happens at least once, is that I buy a horse and somebody says, hey, how come I didn't get a share? Remember I texted you like 10 days ago, and that happens, and I just couldn't have it happen, and it was going to happen. I'm looking at the list, doing the quick math in my head, saying, that's 104%, this is 91%. I need to let people know where they're sitting. And the only way to do that was in a very surgical manner. So I had contacted Kelly at the last minute, 3 days ago, and I said, hey, can we put together forms where people can sign in, say, I've given everybody the price points. If you want a price point on a horse, just ask me. I'm happy to give it to you. But you know why I can't just release my price points, right? Think of the people that are on these emails. I mean, come on. There's a lot of people on these emails, and I would rather do it on a one-on-one basis. And well over 100 people, maybe 200 people have asked me for those price points, and I've given them happily. So you know what the price points are. These forms allow you to go in, sign in, say I want to speak for X amount of percentage, and it gives you an opportunity to put your price point in, which you already know what I'm looking at. There's no point putting one lower, because if the horse goes a little higher but still under my price point cap, you could theoretically, obviously I would email you and ask you or text you, but there's a lot going on at these sales, and I know there's going to be a few horses that likely are sold out before we get there, and I want to make sure that the people that spoke for those shares get an opportunity to have those locked in. So it's done. I mean, if we're looking at a horse that's going to have 25% interest going to the sale, and I may or may not bid on it, it's not the end of the world if people don't say, hey, I want that horse, because there'll be shares available. As soon as the horse sells, I have every intention of going back to the stall, making a video, taking pictures, and the horse going live on the stable.ca or the stableca.com and the stable.ca, so that people can buy those shares. You're welcome to. But there are some horses that have a lot of interest, and I don't want people getting left behind. So over the next 2 days, tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to be reaching out to people. When my videos are done, I've made up my mind. These are the horses that we're going after, and there's well over 30 right now. I'm going to reach out to people and say, hey, we have 18% left of this horse. Is this something that would interest you? Just so if I could ever walk into that sale and have 6 or 7 horses paid for, theoretically, before we even sell, it would just take a ton of stress off my shoulders. I do want to buy 10 or 12 or 15 Ohio breds this summer. Now, we have some at Lexington. There's likely to be some at Harrisburg. But right here at the select sale is where we're going to do most of our business. And I'd like to be able to do that with confidence. So that's what the forms were built for. A lot of people asking, why do we need them? That is why, because I don't want people left out. you know, I don't want to say which horses are close to being sold out, because again, there's an awful lot of people on these emails. So there's some. So that's where we're at with the forums. I certainly didn't want to scare anybody, but it was important that I had a mechanism in place that allowed me to have people speak for those shares, so that if push comes to shove and we buy the horse, I can't have a million people saying, I want this and I want that and I want this. I don't want to be the guy to say, geez, I can't. I feel terrible. You know, I ask you guys to buy these horses with us, and then think how bad I feel when, you know, so you text me and say, had like 5% of that horse. I'd be like, I'm really sorry, the horse is sold out. You know, I feel like a bit of an ass. So that's why I asked Kelly to build the forums. Obviously, they're very helpful. I think they will be definitely heading into Lexington and Harrisburg also. But for now, they're going to help us at Ohio. So those are the forums. That's why they were put in place. And they appear to be working well. We have, from what I can tell, just this morning when I woke up and asked Kelly, how many shares do we have accounted for? I did the quick math in my head. There was 149 or 150 already. I would suspect that number's up over 200 right now, which is good. I really appreciate that. And we'll continue to work on it leading up to the sale. So tomorrow, I'm on my way to the sale right now. Tomorrow, I am going to go and do a number of other videos. I told you guys and I promised you. First stop is Midland Acres and Diamond Creek. We'll circle back and look at all the other consignments. You know what I'm like if you've been to the sale with me. We do have some clients coming in tomorrow that are in the States. And you guys know what it's like. I'm going to look at every horse if I can. Walk up and down the shed row, sit down on a chair and see what other people are pulling out of the stall, see if anything catches my eye also. But that's what's on tap for tomorrow. So today was Upper Sandusky. We had 4 horses in. I think I had 3 or 4 other drives for Ron Steck, who had listed me on some horses at the last few fairs. I'm happy to drive horses for everybody. I felt like a bit of a butt today. A guy come up and he said, hey, can you drive my horses tomorrow? And I said, geez, I'm really sorry, sir, but I'm at the sale. I'm really stuck for a driver. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I can't. I can't. So if I'm not going to qualify or train ours tomorrow morning, I certainly can't come back up to Upper Sandusky to drive horses. So tomorrow's all about the yearlings, all about the sale, all about you guys, and all about the stable.ca and you know, picking out our yearlings at the first major sale of the year. So I got to Upper Sandusky today, and 4 of our horses in, well and down. She's been a little bit of a slow learner, but at the same time, she's got lots of speed. Very good today. Went right up to the gate. There was 2 horses. The gate was kind of, as you can imagine, it's a little bit of a shit show sometimes going in behind the gate with some of the horses and drivers, some of the fair horses and some of the other drivers, and we kind of were getting squeezed in the 3-hole. I couldn't get up into position, and right at the last minute they moved over, and she kind of shot through, but I didn't want to give her a head and let her pace out, so I took her back, got away 5th. It doesn't bother her. The thing I want to do today, before when I moved her last week, when you move her, she got to come with a full head of steam. Today I just moved her out, coming to the 3/8, and I just let her grind away. Up on the outside, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, attacked, you know, and laid outside the leader and put him away halfway down the lane. She raced really, really good. She certainly turned into a really nice filly. So another win for her, 4th win of the year for Well and Down today, and an impressive victory. She's learning so much in goal line. Just to see the progression from the lunatic she was all winter to the horse she was today is pretty impressive. And I was very, very happy. Next race we went out, we had Miss Meringue. I looked at the program, I'm like, oh my. There was a horse that raced in every Sire Stakes race, Ozma. This is a horse that finished just behind I'm a Lovely Lady in the point standings. So she's going to be in the consolation also. She's in with Miss Meringue. Then I look further out to the outside. There's a filly, as you can imagine. Hey, we're going by Mount Gilead. As you can imagine, there are some horses that weren't paid in the stakes, right? Guy buys the horse, takes it home, wants to beat around the fairs, puts it in the fairs. Didn't bother staking this filly. I can't remember her name, but she's unbeaten in 12 starts. 12 for 12 in the fairs going into today, and she jogged. Second was Ozma. I finished third. Meringue raced great again. She's really such a treat to drive now, and I really hope that she, as I said to somebody today, the only thing she's missing is raw speed. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a horse that also missed a lot of raw speed at 2 was Yes. I keep coming back to him because he's always the horse that made it, the one that was just kind of a slow horse that got better, and turned into a world champion. So when it comes to Miss Meringue, everything, it's A pluses across the board, maybe a little B minus on the speed, but who knows? She's got a lot of muscle to put on her frame, and when she does, she's got the right work ethic and the right frame of mind waiting for that muscle. So very proud of that filly this year. One more start, one more race in the fairs. Now, Delaware County Fair, we know it is Jug Week, but it is a fair, and Miss Meringue will be racing in the fair there. Next up was Grey as the New Red. Now, if you remember 2 weeks ago, she made a break in the qualifier. Geez, we couldn't really figure out why. She just get out of gear, pulled her hobbles in a bit. I saw why she did today. We went into the first turn. She was sitting third, nice and chilly, rolled off stride. But right before she did, I could have swore I saw her hit her knee. It's a filly that stands pretty wide apart. Never wore a boot in her life. Geez, I can swear she hit her knee. Come right back pacing. Ended up passing a horse and finishing fourth. Paced the last half probably in 59 on a very deep track. Pulled up and looked down. Trickled blood on her left knee. She reached up. Now, it's a good thing she cut her knee. Sometimes when they hit the knee and it doesn't open up and cut and bleed, it creates a goose egg, right? And she cut her knee today. Not a big deal. It won't matter a little bit. But clearly, that is exactly what she did in the qualifier. Now, I didn't see her do it in the qualifier, but I wasn't looking for it. I was today, and I saw exactly what she did. So Grey as the New Red just barely touched her knee and rolled off stride. We'll put a set of knee boots on her. Now the next question is, where do we race her next? Geez, I don't want to race her in the Buckeye. They might go in 54 over Delaware. Let's just race her in the fair. So, I'll talk to Jason about it, but, a little fair race. We'll get her, before we come home, we'll get her a maiden at Northfield, or maybe even the Meadows. The 2-year-old pacing fillies aren't that bad, but she's going to get some experience. We'll bring her home, maybe race her once at Flamborough, or maybe London or something, and put her away. But Grey as the New Red, I was very happy with her composure today. Yes, she rolled off stride when she hit her knee. Can't really be too mad at her for doing that. But what she did when she got back pacing was very professional, and I was very, very happy with the way she did her work. And then last, but certainly not least, was a filly I thought was a lock for today, right? I'm a Lovely Lady coming in from the Sire Stakes, getting beaten, unfortunately getting beat in that maiden. But man, oh man, she should be able to mop them, right? She struggled a little bit in that deep track. It was very deep today, and did her work well. What I can say is she was as solid as a rock. I'd said to Jason after, maybe just put 4 aluminums on her for the Delaware race, because that track in Delaware last year caught us off guard. If you remember, we had flip-flops put on Compass Rose DC the week before, qualified great at Northfield, went down and couldn't function. She struggled in that deep track, and geez, they go fast over it, but for a young trotter, it's a deep track. So I'm a Lovely Lady. She still won 2-1, looked good doing it, but didn't have that fifth gear that I'd seen before, and I think I didn't see it. Excuse me. I didn't see it with Well and Down. I didn't see it with the 2 horses I won with Ronnie Stecks. They kind of just did their work. Didn't see that fifth gear today, and I think it had a lot more to do with the track than anything else. So I had 4 winners, compete with another horse I thought was tons of best, but whatever. The guy that beat me was older than dirt, too. It was like Montgomery Burns. He put it on me. I finished second. 4 winners, second, third, fourth, whatever. It was a good day at the fair, but a good day for the stable. Great day for Well and Down, and I'm a Lovely Lady heading into next week's races. Good tighteners, and some good experience for them. Now, I did watch Path of Totality make a break with Dave Pallone on the front end at the Meadows. I don't really know what to say about that. And then Beach Boutique race terrible, and I think Tim said he thought that he shut her air off, dragging her to the back. He very well could have, but he also said there was still a little bit of mucus there, so really got to get her cleaned up. I'd said to Tim, let's race her back until she's 100%, because, and he thought she was today, but, after a stiff training trip the other day, maybe should have scoped her to make sure she was. Not the end of the world, but certainly don't want to see her get beat up like that. So the one thing Beach Boutique has proven is she can bounce back pretty quick. So let's get her cleaned up, make sure she's 100% before we race her again in that class. So that was today. Tonight we still got Brave World in Grand River, I'm told. And tomorrow we have a ton of horses racing at Mohawk in the grassroots and some overnights. Really keeping an eye on Eclair AM. James tells me she's good. Okay, show me. So we'll see tomorrow how good Eclair AM is in the maiden. Also, second crack for our boy, Perfect Record. Friday we got Rooney Blue Chip is in to go at Freehold Raceway. 3-hole with my brother Mark driving. Him and I just talked. He was just telling me what kind of a great trot driver he is. Told him to show me with your hands, not your mouth. But Rooney Blue Chip, clearly, obviously a tricky horse. And then yesterday it came down just a nightmare of a day. Worst case scenario for Spirit of Dio. So we were sending Spirit of Dio and Globetrotting to Mohawk. Then Globetrotting did not race well in the final, so we decided we're not going to Mohawk with Globetrotting any longer. This had a ripple effect twofold that screwed everybody over, including Spirit of Dio. So, called the race office yesterday. First off, the shipping company called. Well, if you're not going to take those 2 fillies, we need to leave Monday night. We can't come back with 1 trailer for 1 horse. If you don't mind, we pick her up Monday night. They're shipping her. Okay, fine. Monday night it is. At that time, I'm thinking she's going to get in the consolation. My biggest concern is her getting in the final and having to race against Ramona Hill and the other filly. Certainly not that she wouldn't get in. So now, Tuesday morning's the draw. Mohawk tells me they believe that the consolation will go. I'm happy. All is well. Because at this point, Spirit of Dio is in Ontario, in her old stall, Shed Row 12, Tomiko Training Center. Look at the entries, no consolation. Call the racetrack. I thought you guys said that you were going to go with the consolation. I said, this filly's in Ontario now. Well, you get your money back. I said, who gives a shit? She's sitting in at Shed Row 12. She should be in to go at the Meadows. Well, we have the non-winners of 3 or 40, and with allowances, she fits that on Monday. I said, again, grace, but anyway, they said, well, we were 1 horse short. I know someone who had 1 horse. Because we didn't enter Globetrotting in the Elegant Image, the consolation didn't go for Spirit of Dio. Because we didn't send Globetrotting to Ontario, the truck had to leave 2 days earlier, meaning Spirit of Dio had to be in Ontario while the draw was taking place. The very draw that she did not get in on. So, trying to salvage a bad situation, we have entered Spirit of Dio. Monday, non-winners of, they draw tomorrow, non-winners of 3 or 40 at Mohawk on Monday evening. So, a bit of a nightmarish day yesterday, logistically, for Team Spirit of Dio, but just the way it shook out, that's the day she had to ship. I wasn't going to enter Globetrotting, and made for a crappy day. So that's where we're at right now with Spirit of Dio. She's going to race on Monday. Globetrotting is going to race Tuesday. Erin Merriman's going to drive her. Hopefully she gets in at the Meadows. As of right now, we have Braemar racing Monday, Johan racing Monday, and West 52nd racing Monday. I believe if I missed somebody, I apologize. Those are the 3 that I remember for sure. And then during all this, Sunday, we have Compass Rose DC, Ailsund, and Spirit spend that money at Delaware County Fairgrounds Sunday in the Buckeye for the 3-year-old trotting fillies. Monday, I'll be at the Meadows, but Tuesday, I'll be right back. I'm going to race Rose Run Why Not and Mama Knows Best in the Buckeye. And then Wednesday, we have I'm a Lovely Lady and My Jazz racing in the Breeders' Championship. So that's what's on tap for for the next week or so at the stable. Lots else going on north of the border, still more going on south of the border, but nothing as important as the sale on Friday. So tomorrow I'll be spending the whole day there. If you have any questions or any requests, you want me to have a look at a horse, send them along to me and I'll get them taken care of tomorrow at some point. I expect to start loading videos by 2 p.m. and having them all to you by 4 p.m. I'll obviously be making a post about what I found at the sale pavilion on Thursday. So that's it. That's all that's going on. I will be in touch with you guys very, very soon. As I said from the outset, the forms, do not be too concerned. The forms are mostly for the ones that are going to be sold out. You want to make, listen, if you think we're going to buy hip number 103, hip number 175, hip number 86, 27, 59, I can ram a ton of them off. Feel free. You know the price point. Log in. There's the form right there. Hi. It's John, Timmy, Tammy, Bob, Sally. I would like 2%, 1%, 20%, 40% of hip number blah at the price point that I've given you. Put the price point in. Click enter. Taken care of. That would make my life so much easier. So if you could do that, that would be great. But do not be concerned and do not be scared of the forms. It's not anything more than me trying to put all my ducks in a row and make sure that I have the proper information I need going to the sale. So that's where we sit. That's where we are. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, right after I am done looking at all the babies at the Circleville Fairgrounds. Take care.